Hello there everyone, and welcome back. I am done with my time with the Eldari for now. They're always fun to play with, especially since my favorite of the three is the Assyriani. Since they do have the extra durability, it forces me to be quick on my reaction to avoid getting rammed, and of course, making it really tricky to actually do damage since they always know where I'm at. Where Drukhari and Corsairs have that a little bit of a better luxury to getting their backstabbing and flanking attacks in. But we're going to dive back into the Adeptus Mechanicus and more of the traditional type of fleet, not the carrier type fleet I've been playing with, although with really good use of Eye of the Omniscion, the bombers could do some work there, since if I can trap them in the eye, then they can't run away from the bombers, is what I mean to try to say. So the bombers are a lot more effective in that case, as opposed to anyone else that will try and boost away from them, so they have more time for the point defense to shoot everything down. So maybe there is some merit to it. It's not a very strong fleet, since, again, the bombers can be negated, especially hard countered for some fleets that basically their fleets are almost entirely reliant on fighters in some form. So let's get back to the battleship and the cruisers. And in all honesty, I do like the battleship because it does offer that additional flexibility. If my opponent wants to get aggressive, I at least have the extra health and ramming spurs to at least be a serious threat. Never mind if I am facing off against Eldari and I'm somehow able to get that close, they will die that much more quickly. But 5 cruisers might be better overall, just because the additional Nova cannons and Eye of the Omniscience we have. But you can't say no to the additional firepower and just better resilience to being crippled by critical hits. That could definitely screw me over when I kind of want to keep my opponent at a distance in most situations. But let's see how we do. Well, this is a matchup I was not expecting right off the bat. Mechanicus versus Mechanicus. And we played against the Quantum guy before, but bugs aside, I can't remember what he actually had for that fleet. Since he was my opponent I played against with the Assyriani, was it? I'm trying to remember. It's been a while, it feels like it's been a while at least, since I don't really do that many videos of Armada 2, sadly, at this point. At least until we have reason to be excited again. It helps keep me from getting burnt out, I suppose. Oh, it's this guy, is it? Alright, so maybe he'll fix our bug for us. With how he's boasting, at least. Either way, what do I expect? Well, really, I just gotta watch Nova cans like a hawk. As much as I would love the Kulex's assassin, just easy convenience to be able to reveal his ship so I could shoot him, especially since he's very limited in his cover, might be pretty good for me there. So extending the range there and disruption overcharge is kind of a must with the current bug to this. I'm at least assuming it's a bug, seeing as it pauses shield regeneration and everything. And that is a big deal for these type of matchups when face off against shields. Imperial Navy, when they outnumber you and have more hit points, being able to consistently hit the hull is a big deal. Okay, so there's an explanation, I guess. Maybe. Alright, so this is a very familiar fleet, so double battleships and 2 cruisers, was it? I recognize the formation at least.
Receiving your order.
I cannot for the life of me remember how many frigates there were. So I do want to be careful about getting my frigates picked off from a lucky scanner pulse. Even if they do have the health and resilience and speed to kind of avoid shots pretty well.
Rouse the engines.
You have seized a strategic area. The enemy has seized a strategic area.
I apologize if I misspelt Omniscion. I apologize to all the Mechanicus fans. But we cannot let this heresy stand.
Ready to serve.
it must be expunged with that proclamation.
Engaging drive.
Otherwise, I would love to start moving towards the right and grabbing points. Although if I do that, I forfeit the 2 middle points, which I think my opponent's not going to care about if I'm so honest. I get the... I don't think the objective's even going to matter, but it is going to be a slower paced game just because we're both long-range centric type of fleets.
Calculating vectors.
I should have, well, I want to say a better firepower, but I am forfeiting
Receiving your order.
I downgrade my second battleship for a cruiser and a light cruiser.
To serve the Omnisire.
Now I am curious when I
With
get in
matchless
range,
efficiency.
because having my frigates this far away is not helpful. Yet.
We are ready to serve.
And I did change my hotkeys for scanner pulse, or rather my second
Receiving
command
your
skill,
order.
which hopefully will help mitigate my cold arms situation where I sometimes hit that. Although, since it's
Hostile
not
signature
consistent,
detected.
it's still going to be annoying to make sure I hit the right key.
Hostile signature detected.
Die, frigate, die!
Machine spirit appeased.
Now let's get this out of here. I am revealed, but they lost the frigate,
We are ready to serve.
which is a good start for me. I just gotta make sure I minimize the hull damage.
Rouse the engines.
Since sadly there's not much I could do about the lances yet,
With matchless efficiency.
but I can at least avoid the macro cannons.
Machine spirit appeased. Energize vectored thrust.
And so long as the shields take damage, I'm
State
fine.
your order.
And
Calculating
the fact
vectors.
I'm not shooting them is a sign that I'm not in
State your
range,
order.
even with my lock-on stance.
Engaging drive.
So they are gonna have the points. They have the extra armor to
serve
shields.
the Omnisire.
And we revealed or
Rouse the
destroyed
engines.
one of their frigates, which hopefully should play well
To
for
serve the
later
Omnisire.
on.
Hostile signature detected.
Now I gotta be
Receiving
careful
your order.
of Nova Cannons, because they will likely shoot. They are boosting
With
even.
matchless efficiency. Energize vectored thrust.
So we're just trying to slow them down a bit. I did
You
fire
have
that, right?
seized a strategic area. The enemy has seized a strategic
I'm
area.
carefully watching. Oh god, that's bad.
Machine spirit
That late Siom
appeased.
could have been a nightmare.
Engaging drive.
So that slows them down. They do have disruption overcharge, so let's keep that in mind.
Thruster routines active.
And I want to keep
We
hitting
are
them.
ready
If I
to
could dodge the
serve.
macro cans with this boosters, that's pretty good.
With matchless efficiency.
But key thing is to mitigate the shield damage.
Engage ancient red lines.
Actually,
Serve the Omnisire.
deck's destroyed, so that was poorly timed.
Engage electromagnetic baffles. To serve the Omnisire.
Try to do some more damage here, and watch the shield health, of course.
Rouse the engines to fury.
Because disruption overcharge is a big deal.
Receiving your order. The spirits obey.
Alright, you're taking hits. Let's try and mitigate that.
State your order.
Ooh, we got good engine critical hit. If only I noticed that earlier. Because you know what that would
Spirits
probably mean.
obey. Reroute power to retro propulsion.
You know exactly what that means.
Receiving your order.
Now get yourself protected. Obliterate that cruiser.
Machine spirit appeased.
And that's one ship
Calculating
down.
vectors.
A bit annoying I can't see this thing. And neither can they. I'm just conveniently getting hit because of its placement.
Hostile signature detected.
Yeah, just boost. Hopefully I could clear enough of it if it's an Eye of the Omniscion. And if it's just a Nova Cannon, then I take light
You have
damage.
accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Commit to this. I'm almost out.
Holy Omnisire, heal thy wounded servant.
That did not pay off for him.
Target on screens. We are ready to serve.
Eye of the Omniscion's about
Rouse
to
the
come up.
engines.
You're about to get killed.
To serve the Omnisire. Optimal course set.
So just keep hitting them. That's their second frigate gone.
Machine spirit appeased. Transition begun.
2 cruisers out of the way. Can we get this one extra hit in without burning combustion?
Engaging drive.
Cripple him.
Receiving your order.
I did burn my repairs on the battleship for the recharge, but safe to say that paid off nicely. Shield. This will still hurt, especially if it's an Eye of the Omniscion or
Serve the Omnisire.
hull damage. Not a big deal, considering they lost 2 of their potential Nova Can shots.
Thruster routines active.
Now what I would love to do is to hit them with Nova Cannons.
Receiving
Because I'm not out of the woods yet, without a doubt.
Take your order. Optimal course set. To serve the Omnisire.
And I don't have Coolex's Assassin, so trying to force a mutiny is not going to be useful.
Power to retro propulsion. Calculating vectors.
Bit of an awkward position to be in, I won't lie,
Engaging.
with these 2 gigantic balls, but
Spirits obey.
we'll somehow indulge ourselves with this awkward circumstance.
Engines.
I bet if only I had noticed my repairs were up, but it's not the death of me. Sadly, the supercharged void shield's kind of pointless here.
Transition begun. Machine spirits
You get on out, kill the flagship, and ideally, I guess, well, I should have been boarding the other battleship is what I should have been doing.
Spirit appeased.
And set the reload.
Castellan manifold teleported.
I was probably should have done that so much sooner. At least to get a little more firepower, but the engine critical hits are really convenient, so the lock-ons were still probably enough. At least worth it, even if I was slow to switch.
Optimal course set. Machine spirit appeased.
At least they can be happy they lost to a fellow Mechanicus player, right? So hopefully I gave them some subtle pointers. But it's nice and satisfying when things come together like that. I did a terrible job paying attention to their fleet, of course. That's sort of normal though when you're face off against the Mechanicus, because you don't want to die at the same time, just because of how powerful those Nova Cans can be if they recklessly use them. But when we did get those engine critical hits, or slow them down, those Nova Cans were amazing. Ooh, this is gonna be brutal, potentially. Since Necron are not, well, if I was 5 cruisers, I could almost hard counter the Necron just because of the sheer amount of Nova Cans I have. Never mind the potential of disruption overcharge keeping them from regenerating their health. There's a lot of possibility I can ruin their day. But really, it comes down mostly to the Nova Cannon, the potential I can do there. With the Macro Cans, having to rely on them, and not really having armor-piercing ammo unless I want to get in close, they can still be formidable. If they survive the onslaught. Hopefully, at the very least, I can give them a good time. This should be a lot more fun to at least watch, just because of what I said. 5 Nova Cans, since I can burn 1 normally, they'll jump out of it. And then I have 4 other Nova Cans to basically do 1600 points of damage to them immediately afterwards. But with 3 of them, and with them being able to maybe mitigate some of that damage just by moving out of the center, it's a lot more manageable. It may be like about 1,000 damage at most, I would guess. And if they can avoid macro cans, they can regenerate that health pretty quickly, but it's still pretty brutal. I could kill their ships one at a time pretty well, but again, that's only 1 ship at a time. They still will have potentially 3 other ships, and they have... Okay, So this is potentially, yeah, this is a newer opponent, so I want to try and make
The
this
enemy has
enjoyable
seized
for
a
him.
strategic area.
I really want to put that effort in,
We are ready to serve.
and it helps if I start moving my fleet.
Transition begun.
I didn't even need a stasis bomb. I wasn't even thinking on my skills, if I were to be honest. But Kulexis Assassin is still helpful here.
To serve the Omnisire.
I think what I'm going to do is just fire Nova cannons one at a time. Maybe not stagger them, like as soon as one goes off I fire another. That's kind of like, doesn't really help with what I talked about. But it is my main weapon, since after all, I don't have armor-piercing ammo, so they can still do a lot of damage to me
State your order.
when they get in close. And they do have stances at least, so there's that.
Transition begun.
You have seized a strategic area.
So we'll
State
see
your order.
how they adjust to this. It's gonna murder the frigates without a doubt. And you know I would just obliterate those cruisers right now if I were to fire.
Machine spirit appeased.
The temptation is real.
Engaging drive.
The enemy has seized a
And
strategic
yeah,
area.
this has star pulse generators, so I can't just fire my bombers and
Receiving
expect them to
your order.
really do anything.
Rouse the engines.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
So this is gonna hurt quite a bit. And the poor thing's losing his components already. They just need to reveal me
Thruster routines
if they want to
active.
fight back. And at this range, they can reveal me pretty
We
quickly.
are ready to serve. Calculating vectors.
Can I? Ah, they scanner pulse me, so I want to wait till they group up. Maybe hit a stasis bomb might be useful for keeping my distance from them, at least for this type of matchup.
Transition begun.
Because as you can see, this frigate's taking a while to kill. Most of it's
We
really
are
just the
ready to
lances that's
serve.
killing that thing off.
The spirits obey.
Yep.
Receiving your
Those
order.
things can do hull damage. I want to take them seriously.
Spirits obey.
And I don't want to get isolated. They don't have the regeneration. Well, I'm hitting them, so they can't regenerate their health anyway.
Thruster routines active.
If I really want to make this interesting, and I
Rouse the engines.
suspect that they were a newer player, I probably would have turned off the or
Transition
swapped out a
begun.
disruption overcharge.
Engage.
Because I don't want to
engine
lose this
lines.
frigate. Nope, it's out of boosters.
Machine spirit appeased.
Let's hopefully kill this, save this thing. It is a slow and steady process. We've been shooting at this thing ever since it got within firing range, and we only did like about a fifth, a quarter of its health. And it should not even be able to regenerate, at least most of the time,
State your order.
because of disruption overcharge.
Optimal course set.
Although now it's time to put more pressure on them. Time to
Machine
fire another
spirit
Nova cannon.
appeased.
Although you're not a worthy candidate, you're too far away. Or you're not the proper candidate.
We are ready to serve.
Now this should prompt the jump.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Now this I will do a rad storm if he gets trapped in there. And even if he doesn't, I'll probably do a rad storm.
Machine spirit appeased.
Because it's a lot of damage to take seriously here.
Receiving your order.
And I can only do it once every 3 minutes, so
Spirits obey.
if you can manage it well, that's good. That light cruiser is all sorts of screwed. So we're just gonna kill it now. He doesn't have arc propagator, so let's keep that in mind. Let's keep the light. Actually, I can hide the light cruiser.
Omnisire, heal thy wounded servant.
And I want reload stance.
The spirits obey.
So that didn't do a lot of morale damage, sadly.
Optimal course set.
Now, do I have... No, I don't have any Nova cans, but if they're going to Star Pulse Generator, that's good. But keep in mind, I do not have armor-piercing ammo, so this is a bad engagement for me. And the deck's gone.
Serve the Omnisire. Reroute power to retro propulsion. State your order.
Okay, I can launch bombers,
Engaging.
and hopefully they do damage.
Receiving your order.
And those fighters will be dealt with pretty quickly. Now they repaired the deck, so the answer there is to just destroy some more. Ah, dang it. I didn't realize the combustion gauge was almost expired. I could have recharged and saved me a lot of damage here by boosting out of the nano swarm. Alright, you three just help harass the flagship. And sadly, engines are down. And yeah, you're permanently out of the fight. So I think we're okay here. Just kill this, prepare for a lightning strike on the flagship, and maybe force it to break. Because sadly my flagship took a lot of damage because of that maneuver. It didn't really offer a whole lot in return. So we'll do double shots, one of which is an Eye of the Omniscion. Although that was badly aimed Novacan, but we'll do it again just because we're not getting maximum fire here. And can I get out in time? We'll just make it work. Ah, so close. I misjudged the timing a tiny bit. And now the flagship's out of the fight. At least these ships will not take damage. Or at least the light cruiser will not. Alright, bombers did hits. You have 2 Novacan shots left. You two just evade the stasis bomb. And just cripple this thing some more. And I am keeping it from recharging, but we gotta watch our morale in a moment. Because we just lost a crap ton of morale. Now, ideally, I want to kill this thing without firing our Nova Cannon. So let's kill it. No! He's gonna eat my frigates. I don't like it. Well, I tried to make it a little more entertaining. It's hard to say how my opponent felt about it, though. Because Arc Propagator would have been devastating there. And I think this is a pre-made fleet, is it? Yeah, it is a pre-made fleet. They have all the skills unlocked, so I'm a little bit surprised they went with what looks like the basics. Although residual absorption is pretty good. Just not when you have to deal with disruption overcharge. Alright, chaos. And Nurgle chaos at that. So a lot of the same rules for them being in close kind of applies, since the Nurgle swarm can do a lot of damage if they hit more than one ship. But if they don't have lances, then I should be pretty good at fighting from a distance. I'm hoping anyway. Since that portrait, their Nurgle sub-faction, kind of gives away, they may want to get in close. Assuming it's someone who knows what they're doing with chaos at least. Although I don't recognize the name, I don't really make it a note to try and remember player names, so that probably plays a factor there too. We're trying to know what kind of opponent I'm going up against. But we'll assume they want to play a little more aggressive with their Nurgle trait. So realistically, I want to be spread out, so that way I can have Eye of this Omniscion ready. And it's something I should be probably doing more often anyway, since these two subgroups protect each other with the Eye of the Omniscion at least. If I don't want to burn a stasis bomb. And never mind the fact that it allows me to do some long-range support fire with the Novacans as well. if I feel I can get away with it. Although, since they may have emission dissipator, I probably want to reveal them as soon as I can, as safely as I can with these frigates, so I don't lose them, especially if they're good about concealing their ships. Now, what do we get?
State your order.
A lot of ships, I gotta say. Frigate. Alright, so this emphasizes it's a newer player. So now I'm trying to figure out how I want this match to play out. Because this could very easily be 5 Acrons or 5 cruisers. Actually, let me time it. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. So yeah, standard cruisers, not slaughters or anything like that. Although I think I got it wrong before when I tried to predict what my Chaos opponent had. So maybe I should double or count that again just for consistency or at least being thorough. But we already know they're not silent running their frigates. That's all I could tell you there. And we know where they're at, and I plan to destroy them as soon as I can.
Receiving your order.
Ideally, I'll get some decent shots on them before they get in the gas cloud from grabbing a point. Ideally.
Transition begun.
And speaking of which, where's my fighters?
Receiving your order.
I would like to know what we're up against here.
We are ready to serve.
Because it doesn't seem like a simple control group fleet.
Signature detected.
But I don't think it's like separate cruisers either with different speed. So Acheron. Okay.
Signature detected.
So it is different ships. Maybe a pre-made fleet already is the exact same. No, they're executors, which are the lance-faring, I believe. Shorter range lances, at least slightly shorter range. So that's important to note with this.
With matchless efficiency.
And that was a bit of a mistake letting that thing get that close. There's a reason why I have this with extended sensor range.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Oh, and you're marked anyway, so just survive right now.
State your order.
They don't have stances of any kind on there, so nor do they with the fleet on the right.
To serve the Omnissiah.
So I'm gonna have easy time just obliterating these things. So much so I want to kind of do a rad storm to help accelerate that, but they're boosting.
We are ready to serve. Thruster routines active.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
I want the light cruiser to grab these points. The rest of these can go up top and just steal the point from the frigates. Especially since I'm already revealed, so.
Signature detected. Optimal course set.
So 1 down, 3 to go, one of which is a cheaper ship, or at least a more, was it, destroyer and not an actual frigate, I think is the distinction between the 200 health and 400 health frigates.
Receiving your order.
So let's just get our free kills, shall we? If we can. Okay.
State your order.
I thought I was revealed at first there, because I wasn't expecting it to shoot, but we're forfeiting this point either way. And I think that's another frigate destroyed right there.
Receiving your order.
So let's grab the gas cloud here, turn around, and prepare to welcome them. Although now I'm forced to boost.
To serve the Omnissiah.
Alright, time to get ourselves turned
You
around.
have seized a strategic area.
Ideally.
Reroute power to
And the fire claims another frigate, at least, so does that.
Rouse the engines.
The enemy
And
has
stasis bombs
seized a
succeeded.
strategic area.
and forcing him to pause his aggression. Although deck being destroyed is annoying. It was permanently destroyed. I saw the temporary damage result.
Optimal course set.
Now, can we get turned around for some Novacan shots? Because it looks like these are actually almost on group order. Almost.
Transition begun.
And since we're hitting this, we might as well focus on it.
Thruster routines active.
Just slow them down. I have the convenience here. I apologize to the viewers for the degradation that YouTube probably has for these Eye of the Omniscience.
Revere the Omnisire.
Now, if we can destroy the engine, that helps. Just pummel these things into oblivion. And ideally, give me an engine critical hit for a nice follow-up hit. And with all your lances, you don't want to get in close anyway, but you do need your frigates here, don't you? I really want to just destroy these things. I want to wait till the boosters expire. Because I'm not going to do a lot of damage to this top one, but if it denies him a scanner pulse, then it's worth it.
Calculating vectors. To serve the Omnisire.
Now, you do have extended sensors, so this gas cloud is invaluable right now.
Engaging
Although,
drive.
the opportunity we're missing out here. So we'll just eye the Omnisign and see how they
Optimal
respond.
course set. State your order. Rouse
Nope.
the engines.
This would be cruel, so I'm just going to commit to only a single Novacan shot.
Obey.
As much as I know you, as you want to see it.
We are ready to serve. With matchless efficiency.
Shields should take the hit. Can I dodge it? Alright, dodge it completely.
In your order.
Even better.
Transition begun. Enhance rotational drift.
Now, we are taking... Oop,
Receiving your order.
hold that
You've
thought.
accumulated 25%
We are
of
taking
strategic
the
points.
Scarab Swarm damage.
Revere the Omnisire.
Can we kill the cruiser? No, we can't. Okay, yes we can. Actually, it's gonna kill itself. Who am I kidding?
Does not compute.
Although I really would love to know the
The
heading
enemy has seized
of
a
my one
strategic
invisible
area.
ship and back. It's only the light cruiser, so it's not that big of a deal, I
Transition
guess.
successful. Thruster routines active.
Alright, so cruisers,
Machine spirit appeased.
get ready. Turn these things around. Ooh, engines destroyed on one of them.
Hostile signature detected.
Get out of the bomb.
Machine spirit appeased. Begin rearmament.
And now ram the
Matchless
Acheron,
efficiency.
because that's why we have ramming spurs.
Materium vectors calculated. Reroute power to retro propulsion.
And now, get ready
Calculating
to
vectors.
ram the Grand Cruiser in a moment.
Engage engine red lights.
I'm not getting good arcs of fire for Novacans,
Spirits
but
obey.
this will make up for it.
Reroute power to retro propulsion.
This will definitely make up for it with that dead flagship.
State your order.
You have accumulated 50% of strategic points.
Now everything is
Calculating
breaking.
vectors.
Everything is panicking.
Omnisire.
I will have another Rad Storm in a moment. Which we used on a frigate, on 2 frigates, keep in mind. As pointless as it may have been, killing those frigates was worth it for the value we were getting with the gas cloud.
Rouse the engines to fury.
And your engines are down, so
Receiving your
it's
order.
really hard to notice that, but that's kind of what we're designing this, or basing this, our fleet around. Crippling their engines, slowing them somehow,
State your order.
so they have no way to dodge the Nova Cannons.
Machine spirit
Or
appeased.
evade my wrath, like this one Akron tried to.
Engage engine red lines.
And ideally, with them having a lance-centric fleet, they wouldn't want to be close to me anyway,
Set.
because my heavy armor does allow me more ramming potential, even without the spur. That was enjoyable though. It's always satisfying when we can get some ramming in on our fleet. So I will not say no to that.